Yo, welcome back to another trade recap. Hope you guys have been pretty good recently. I did take a trade today, as you guys can see from the title. It was an L, but it wasn't that bad, right? I could have probably mitigated the loss and just not taken it at all. But anyhow, I'll show you guys what I was looking at today. We have this daily BISI, and I don't know if no, we didn't have it on ES either. So 4 hour, we have this BISI on that's right below us, that we also were inside in pre-market. And going to 1 hour, we had hourly BISI, AMD, we had accumulation over here, and then we just about swept and went inside that 1 hour BISI. Going to the 15 minute, we had a 15-minute change in the state. And same thing on ES right here. So 15-minute change. So my draw was this high over here, all-time highs. I was looking not specifically for any session liquidity because these are relatively equal. So that's why in the trade that I took, I didn't exit or take a partial. So we had this 15-minute change. I wanted to see us come and reject off of this change on both assets, but ES ended up being the stronger asset, and ES actually ended up dumping, right? So going to the 1 minute, we actually end up really chopping like at open, right? And obviously because of that, I was kind of off, like, yeah, I kind of got off after a bit, but I did end up taking a trade, which is we had this 15-minute. So we had this 15-minute change. We also had this 15-minute BISI, and as well as that, the 5-minute BISI over here. So I want to see this 5-minute or 15-minute BISI act as a form of resistance or support, and we would come up to all-time highs. We did end up coming higher. However, this is the trades that I took. So took a trade here with 30 micros. It was on ES. Actually chart on the mini instead of the micro. So I think this is it. Yeah. So we had a 15-second change, and I was targeting all-time highs, but we never actually ended up taking all-time highs. And the mistake that I had today was not going break even when London was already taken out, right? So, or not London, when the end of the market maker buy model was taken out. So theoretically, all we had to do was just take out this high. We did not have to come up and sweep all-time highs out. Why? It's just not a definite thing that could happen. However, a more higher probability thing, it's still high probability, don't get me wrong, these all-time highs are still high probability. However, it was higher probability that we would come up and take out the and end off the market maker buy, which is at the swing high. So when that happened, I could have went break even, but I chose not to because I don't even know why. I don't know why I didn't go break even actually. Yeah, so held up to here. My entry was a bit worse, to be fair. I think it was like around here. So I did get like sort of a late entry, but the reason why was because the 30-second, or rather the 30-second on the micro had created this change in the state. And so when we did that, I thought, yeah, this is definitely a model, which it is on the micros, but not on the mini. And I realized that too what's it called? Too late, and I had already entered. However, it's not even that bad. Why? Because the 15-second still presented a model. However, I just got a really late entry. So the model is right here. So I should have been in right here, but instead I got in a little later. So up here until it actually displaced. So overall, that was my sort of mistake. Obviously, because of the 15-second or the second time frames, they go really fast. So in that sense, I kind of made a mistake, but obviously we live, we learn. So far, I'm halfway through passing the account. I did rebuild yesterday, and I didn't take a trade yesterday because that was just simply not no trades, but actually no, there was a trade that I did miss, and that was completely my fault. I'm hoping that it won't happen again, and it shouldn't happen again, obviously, but yeah. Anyhow, we had this 15-second model right here as well, and that's what I took on for my second re-entry. Actually, I think it was the 30-second model. Yeah. Oh wait. No, it was the 15-second model. Okay. So took the 15-second model, and once it retraced back in, so my first entry was when we created the change, and then my second entry was when we tapped back into that change. We ended up going higher and then getting stopped out at break even. I learned from the lesson over here, so just go break even a bit earlier. My entry was around here, my stop was there, targeting all-time highs again. However, this time I just went break even earlier because we had such choppy price action, a rangy price action as well. Most likely I would have partialed at this high probably, and then took everything off from there. But anyhow, we ended up dumping the rest of the session, which is actually a kind of a surprise to me. I didn't expect that, but yeah. So overall, also the high time frame PD arrays that I used for that trade was this 15-minute BISI, and as well as that we had the 15-minute change. So these were high probability setups. However, the problem that I had with most of it is just the risk management aspect, because overall I didn't really risk manage that well. I didn't lose that much, however it still is kind of bad how I risked it, how I did my risk management. So overall, wasn't that bad of a day. I could have avoided a loss, but yeah. So I'll show you guys the stats. So we had 2 losing days now, both $320. I managed to de-risk, not de-risk, but mitigate risk, which is good. So I'll show you guys the P&L here, which is, I think it's just this one. Yeah, long. Yeah, 1107, I think. So this one's. It's right here. Yeah. Yeah. So this is 10 in my time. So my time is 3 p.m. Yeah, my time is 3 p.m. and this is 10:07, which is right here, and that's the partial. Oh, that's the second entry, the pyramid entry, because I did enter twice here, and this one was a loss. So overall, a gain of $18 on that trade. Still break even anyway. It doesn't really matter, but yeah. Hope you guys have enjoyed that trade recap. I'll be doing another data series episode right after this one actually, but yeah. Peace.